all self-custodial wallets are completely, totally, and utterly broken. The whole concept of a single key pair directly controlling an asset is fundamentally wrong. And it's not until we move away from this concept can you have genuine self-custody in a way that, in practice, improves kind of people's lives. And you can hopefully convince yourself this by just looking at the data. And if you just look at the number of people or the notional value of crypto that has lost every single year to people that lose access to their seed phrases, it's a really disappointing number. It's something on the order of, at least according to some wallets, billions of dollars, as much or more than all centralized exchange hacks combined every single year. It's because most people aren't super technical, nor should they be. And so this whole concept of like, I'm going to own a hardware wallet or I'm going to own a 24-word seed phrase, and if I throw it into the ocean and I lose that piece of paper, game over. Sorry, good luck, not my problem. That's really the stance that most products take, especially wallets. They don't really take any responsibility for their users losing their assets. And so it's really my view that that's just fundamentally wrong. You have billions of dollars lost every year and it's a completely preventable mistake. You're basically selling knives to children. That's kind of how I describe it. But the challenge is ultimately, how do you solve this problem, but without losing self-custody? It's very tempting to want to introduce centralization and to lose self-custody and therefore lose, I think, what makes crypto so special. I think luckily there's some very straightforward solutions to this. I guess the technical jargon people like to throw around is account abstraction. In other words, the concept is really simple. Instead of having your key pair own your assets, your Sol or your Bitcoin or Ether, whatever, it's a smart contract that controls the assets. And your key pair simply controls the smart contract. And so in theory, if you lose your key pair, you can always swap it out for another one because the smart contract will let you. And so there are a couple of quite clever constructions that you can introduce that basically use, say, the exchange or some other external third-party services provider to be able to perform that recovery process